John was pointing this way and I was supposed to stand right behind him. His biceps were so big I couldn't be seen.
And I'm like, oh shit, ये आ क्यों नहीं रहा है? हाथ क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Then I'm like, sir, change करते हैं मैं सर पकड़ लेता हूँ. हाथ में तो नहीं आ रहा.
I picked up the phone on Rani Mukherjee for 20, who had not spoken in 25 years. Right? I had not spoken to her since, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum.
It's exciting. I get to work with my favorite actor.
For all film-related interviews, reviews and content, please like and subscribe to Pooja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
Lovely to see you all, but Sharvari, aajkal what is this? This is going to be the hat trick, right? She's got Munjya, she's got Maharaj, and this is like, she's on this blockbuster spree.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
How do you relate to the fact that everyone's calling her the rising star of Bollywood, and now Vedaa is also, your character is Vedaa?
Yes. Honestly, it's quite overwhelming and it's quite surreal. But to be fair, I feel like, you know, it's, I think it's almost about time. You know, my first film didn't do as well as expected. Then there was COVID. There was a big long wait for 3 years. Even though I was working, I've not had anything released in the last 3 years, which I would say wasn't the easiest time because there's always an expectation from yourself, and I wouldn't say that it's just people. I would say that I also expected myself. You know, every time I used to go and watch screenings, I would feel like, when will my day come and when will my film come? You know, and it's just that longing that you have as an actor to see yourself back on that big screen or to see yourself perform. So I feel like honestly, the timing just couldn't have been better. I know that I didn't see it 3 years ago, but I really do see it now. Oh. And it's a blessing, yeah. It's a blessing that Munjya happened and people gave it so much love. Maharaj has been receiving so much love. And now we come with Vedaa. It's a titular role. It's a big responsibility. But I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Shoulders काफी मजबूत लग रहे हैं. workout कर रही हो ना. But Nikhil, if I was to ask you, from Kal Ho Na Ho to Vedaa, what has changed?
I don't know. I think with Kal Ho Na Ho, I was trying to do what I think people expected me to do. With Vedaa, I'm doing what I want to do. Right? I think that's the big change. Whether it's not only Vedaa, whether it's D-Day, whether it's Batla House, whether it's Mumbai Diaries, Rocket Boys. Mrs. Chatterjee was in Norway. I read the script and I finished reading the script. I called up my sister, who's my producer, and I said, do you have 2.5 hours? I'm sending you something to read. She read it, she called me back, and I can't repeat what she said on camera. And she said, we have to do this film. I picked up the phone on Rani Mukherjee who had not spoken in 25 years. Right? I had not spoken to her since, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum.
Wow.
And I said, I have the script for you. I haven't called you in 25 years, I have the script for you. So with Vedaa also, I just feel that it took me after Batla House, when we made Batla House, I just felt that after that there was nothing that was resonating with me till then I started reading a lot about honor killing, and I started reading a lot about certain stories that really were bothering me a lot. You know, I have a now she's 17. When I started writing this, she was 11, my daughter, and goes to this international school and all that. One day she came to me and said, do you know what is Black Lives Matter? And I said, do you know what is Dalit Lives Matter? She says, no. I said, okay, let's make a film.
Wow. Amazing. But, you know, I actually want to ask you before I ask Abhishek, is like, what is it? You seem to have got the pulse. You know, these are real life stories also that you're bringing up.
We are recording this now because I don't know what the pulse is. I have no idea what the pulse is.
I mean, pulse, like, you know that this is going to work, which is that, what is that moment where you feel this is going to work? And they are working, that's what. Man with the Midas touch.
I think with Vedaa, I think I knew that it is going to work when I finished writing the script with Asim. And I did a first narration during COVID. I did a narration with my sister and my Madhu, who's my producer, and they said we should never make this film.
Oh.
And they said it's so tough. It's such a tough film. You know, it's very difficult. And how are you going to show the atrocities against Veda's family and all that? And it's going, people will not be able. I said, trust me, we'll do it. They didn't. And so I actually had to convince them. But I knew for a fact that this is the film I want to make because it's really, really hard. And really for me now, today, and you know him very well, it is all about Sudhir, right? So I think a lot that what will Sudhir say, what will Sudhir say, what will Sudhir say? Will Sudhir be okay with this? Will Sudhir like this film? Will like the story? Beta, you screwed up. Call me and say. But yeah, so it's really is for with but in this case, I think I knew there's a scene in the film. She has no dialogue in that scene where her father is slapping the brother and he's throwing him out. The one thing Rajendra Chawla did, right, where and then Anurag he hugs him.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, this is incredible. Because there are things that are not in the script, which I had written, which I'm very proud of. But Abhishek, there's a scene where he just smiles in the interval. Remember when he says,
Engineer.
What qualifies you? Kya hai tere qualifications? Thinking that this guy would have nothing, and he says, engineer hu main, right? And so there are certain things that happen in the film, which just makes me wow. In the case of Sharvari, it was every day. I was just seeing every day what she was doing in terms of the readings. I was seeing in terms of what she was doing. She would go for workout for 3 hours, then come to. I would be leaving from the office, and she's still there, learning the language, getting it all right. So there are lots of things that come together. Yeah.
Abhishek, ultimate compliment you've got from the action man, the He-Man,
Yeah.
John Abraham,
Yeah.
saying now you will see Abhishek in an action avatar you've never seen before. What was that space like? Because earlier I always equate him as the Hathoda Tyagi.
Yeah, I mean, I actually sent that clip to all my close friends and family. I was like, look who's talking about my action skills. In-laws, everybody. So yeah, that's of course like you don't expect such things, but when that happens, you just feel good.
Yeah.
And I think I really love the genre action. I think last year when 2 years back when I met Nikhil sir, I remember I was only manifesting that यार मुझे ना action करना है. मुझे मैं comedy बहुत हो गया है. I also don't know how to manifest, but I think the idea is that अगर genuinely दिल से चाहो जो शाहरुख खान का line है, कि अगर genuinely किसी चीज़ को दिल से चाहो तो कायनात सही में कुछ ना कुछ कर देती है.
सही में.
So I think it was that, and I read the script and I told sir also कि sir I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this kind of a character because probably I will explore a lot which I might have not explored in whatever work I did. So
What was that one thing actually that you explored which you haven't done before? Because here also he's got this very mincing and subtle smile which is very scary, whatever little I have seen. I wouldn't want to be anywhere around him.
I mean, Thoda Tyagi never smiled. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, he only smiled for dogs.
Dogs. I was just going to
So,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And those are the best people who smile for dogs.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So, I mean, I think Thoda Tyagi बहुत अच्छा इंसान था.
Yeah, that's what you said. अगर आप कुत्ते से अच्छे से behave कर सकते हो,
Then you are
good
actually a good
person.
person. You might be, yeah. I agree
But
with that.
the irony is that there he was the victim.
Yeah.
Like of the same politics, and here he is the oppressor. And for me it was very important to understand कि oppressors जो होते हैं वो कैसे अपने आप को actually oppressor नहीं मानते हैं. For them it's not really कि we are doing something. It's a tradition which they follow and which they have been following. It's in the family line. It's in the blood. It's in the wars they have fought. So I think that was quite interesting.
Wow.
Because for me, it's very. I whenever I approach any character, I always try to read the current events.
बहुत है यहाँ पर.
Yeah, and when you
अभी
read
जो
the
हुआ
current
है.
events and when you see that, अच्छा ये तो मतलब ये कहानी fiction है, but there's so much more which is happening in reality.
Absolutely.
Then I think it becomes for me it becomes a personal responsibility to play that character with some kind of moral responsibility.
Absolutely.
So I've tried that and now you see whether it's menacing.
You're
or
right.
it's like-
World politics is nothing less than a blockbuster.
Yeah.
You're seeing things happening. But anyways, coming to you, let's leave the politics aside. Here you are actually delving into some very dark spaces which you, as the girl that you are, hopefully no girl should ever venture into it.
Right.
Was it mentally more trying other than the physical aspect of it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that Veda's story is basically her fight for equality and justice, and she demands something of the Constitution of India, and she rightfully gets so, I guess, and they support her and they aid her. So I think that this story is a story of never giving up, you know, but I think never giving up in the face of everything. So I feel like when I was doing doing certain scenes, you know, every time when as an actor there will come moments where you forget that there is an action and a cut, you know, and as actors we want to be in that place, so we put ourselves in that situation, we put ourselves in that place, we mentally try and get into that space. That's at least something that I do. So I think there were many times that I forgot that I was on set. There were scenes that I thought in comparison to other scenes would be easier, but some days were very tough. I remember. Don't laugh. Yes.
He's laughing but tough. Look at him.
No, he's laughing because there was one scene that really got to me, and you know,
it took her by surprise because in the,
it took
in the
me by
script is
surprise.
one line.
In the film, yes, it is one line, and there are many.
Suyog beat when Suyog beats her.
कितना मार का लड़की ने मार खाई है यार इसमें.
Yeah, but I think that
Mara
day, that day really upset me because I guess I didn't come in expecting that day to be a really tough one in comparison to everything else I had, and it just kept getting to me that whole day. Just, you know, everything just kept. It felt like it just was here somewhere, you know. And I remember that they said lunch break, and I just walked to my van, and that's very unlike me. I would at least look at people and say, okay, lunch, whatever, like, you know, move. I didn't look at anyone. I didn't look at Nikhil sir, I would at least look at Nikhil sir and go, I just walked. And when he came to my van, I was in tears because I was just so upset with that scene. I was just so upset. And I remember as soon as shoot got over, Monisha, she called me, and Monisha called me.
I called her up.
Okay, but she called me. He had come to my van, to which I pretended to be very strong, and then she called me and she said, just go for a movie. Just go for a fun movie after this. Get your mind off it. But they were
You should
just...
have watched one of his only, pehle wale, when he was doing things that people wanted him
No,
to do.
then I went for Rocky Rani.
Oh yeah.
We were in Jodhpur. We were shooting in Jodhpur, and then so she, you know, she gave me a great idea. She said, just take your mind off and just. But I think everyone took really good care of me because the scenes were very tough.
Chalo, yeah, maar kha ke now you're all set to kill people in your spy verse. What is that like with Alia? You're looking all fit and all set to go.
Yeah, we've started shoot, and there's lots to talk about that. But I think that we'll take some time off and properly talk about Alpha, because there's lots to talk. But we have started shoot, and it's exciting. I get to work with my favorite actor.
Awesome. But Nikhil, it's so exciting. Like, here is a story. Earlier, you know, they've been helped by men, the man who's fighting to change the world. Here you have. What do you see is now also changing in terms of narrative? Because I'm happy that Sharvari's got to do this earlier, because even in Maharaj, she was playing a victim who, you know, raises a voice. What do you think has actually now changed? Because no one knows no one knows anything about the box office or whether what we're getting on the, you know, streaming platforms.
I think that I think the important thing is, especially when you're making films which have some kind of weightage based in reality or inspired by reality or inspired by something or the other, you have to try and be as authentic as possible. You just have to try and be as authentic as possible. If they didn't speak the language that is spoken in Rajasthan, it would just look very this thing. So I mean, even it was a shock when the studio also saw the film and they said, there's, you know, it's pretty Tate, you know. So I think that that's the thing, that because we are now exposed to so much, we are exposed to so much. In a second you'll say, यहाँ पे लोग ऐसे बात नहीं करते, right? You can just everybody is actually also looking to catch you out on, right? This is rubbish. This did not really happen, or this is not whatever. Or this is not how a girl in Rajasthan would dress up, etc. etc. So you have to do a certain level of course you have to make it. When you're making a film like Veda, which is also about supposed to be. See, the thing is that when I made Batla House, a lot of people came and saw it. When I made D-Day, a lot of people, it's become iconic. D-Day has become young people come to me and they say, we have to work with you. You have made D-Day and that song and this and that. It's too good. It's one of our favorite films. This, that, whatever. I was very cognizant after Batla House, which did very well. It did extremely well. Released on the 15th of August, like Vedaa.
It's your lucky day, huh?
Yeah. So and so it did very well, but could it have done better? And I said, with Vedaa, I owe the story that more people see it. That more people see it. And when we were going through the censor issue also right now, I'm so relieved that when finally we went for the revising committee screening, and the head of the revising committee looked at me, and lovely, beautiful professor, and he looked at me and he said that I'm giving you a UA because I want every single person to see this.
Awesome. But these are certain hard truths that we need to face. Yeah. More power to you, and more power to you. I'm very happy for you, and
Thank you.
always a pleasure meeting you. One question, what was it like doing action with John Abraham?
Honestly, it was a lot of fun to begin with.
He's like
Yeah.
the He-Man.
Yeah.
You remember wo He-Man jo aata tha?
No, there was actually one scene I remember, and
what
I
a
had
scene.
that's not what I was saying. There's one particular scene, and I remember messaging my friends after that. It was basically John was pointing this way, and I was supposed to stand right behind him. His biceps were so big I couldn't be seen. I swear I had told everyone that, guys, I was hidden behind John's biceps. I think my face was like smaller.
अच्छा तेरे साथ ये हुआ मेरे साथ ये हुआ कि I had to hold his neck, you know those scenes there.
पूरा आ गया
And
था
I
तुम्हारा
did it
हाथ।
and I'm like, oh shit, ये आ क्यों नहीं रहा है? हाथ क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Then I'm like, sir, change करते हैं मैं सर पकड़ लेता हूँ. हाथ में तो नहीं आ रही है.
Baba, do it with force. It's okay, Baba, just do it with force. And then,
So John, that's
no,
so
you do it, and then you come. Why he really? Tomorrow we'll have to cancel.
Awesome. Looking forward to Vedaa. Anyways, congratulations again. Can't wait to see what all you come up with next. Anyways, thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.